Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Christmas Day. The big news story today, the death of George Michael at age 53. Today happens to be a day with 53 numerology, passing at the young age of 53. 53 is the 16th prime number. Think about how we're at the end of 2016. He's died on Christmas 2016. One of his most remembered songs, Last Christmas. CNN, for a headline when he passed, had Last Christmas up. Last Christmas in Gematria sums to the same thing as George Michael. Anyway, George Michael was born in 1963 on George Orwell's birthday, June 25th, author in 1984. He was born in 63 and is dead at age 53. If you count every number 1 through 63 and add them together, it sums to 2016. 2016. We've had so many celebrity deaths, a lot of musicians this year. Dead at 53, the 16th prime. When you write out 16 as a word, it sums to 33. The name Michael's 33, like 16. They're saying they don't know the cause of death. The report is so vague. His death is a mystery kind of right now. I noticed his birth numerology, the day he was born, a date with 113 numerology, number for mainstream, dishonest. I think a lot of these deaths are dishonest. If not, they're ritual sacrifice. And this Christmas Day, December 25th, 2016, a date with 73 numerology, a date with a life lesson number of 46. Get a date with 53 numerology, dead at 53. Date with 37 numerology, the word December's 37. Anyway, look, sacrifice 7346 corresponding with the date numerology. Just did a video on the Berlin Christmas market crash talking about the connection between Christmas and death, which we'll get to. The headline, this other headline that CNN put up, this was after last Christmas. This headline had gematria of 127, which is the 31st prime number. 31, a number connecting to the cube, to Saturn. 31, the 11th prime. In numerology, 11, the master number. Anyhow, it's Christmas, the time that Christians celebrate the birthday of Jesus Christ, who died on the cross. Cross has gematria of 38, like death, like killing, like Christmas. It looks like he's in the UK where this happened. He's in the United Kingdom. So it's their police reporting. They have the perfect gematria of that police department. 77, Thames Valley Police, 77, police officer 77, police department 77, Jesus Christ birthday, Christ 77. Another bizarre death with Howard Stern's Joey Boots. Yesterday on Christmas Eve, he was dead at 49, the product of 7 times 7. So anyway, here's the gematria of Last Christmas and George Michael. You might have noticed up top when we started his full birth name, summed to 333. I noticed that October 25th, 2 months ago, nominated for Songwriters Hall of Fame. October, the only month with 33 gematria, a date with 44 numerology that happened on, the word kill 44. So anyway, I might end up doing another video on that. Dar O'Brien, I always recommend his channel, Dar. He also posts online. Dar did a little decode on George Michael's death and caught a few extra things. He just sees the connection between his birth name and the word Santa. You know, it's Christmas. Last Christmas, the song he sung. Wham! How they use that in the headline, CNN. Go back up to the top of that. Where was that at? Oh. I know where it was. It was a page back. But anyway, I'll just link this so that you can read it all yourself. Wham. With regards to 45, remember that number connects to Saturn, the keeper of time. The magic square of Saturn sums to 45. Magic square, cube gematria of 31. We talked about the headline with the 127 coded in, 127 the 31st prime. So that was that. Joey Boots, fellow whack packer, found dead yesterday in his home. B-list celebrity. Well, B-list might be a compliment, but, you know, a known name. People who consume media, programs such as Howard Stern, they know who this guy is. Whack packer, Christmas, killing, death, gematria of 38, dead at age 49. Howard Stern show, I noticed, had gematria of 93. 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time. Real quick, Christmas, what it really is Saturnalia, the pagan holiday where you bring a church into your home. Not a church, you bring an evergreen tree into your home, what we call a Christmas tree. Look at this. Saturn equals 93. Saturn is the keeper of time to the occult. You have this special holiday, you bring the tree in. Pagan festival. Pagan equals 39, the reflection of 93. 39 books in the Old Testament. The 24th book, Jeremiah 10, talks about how not to bring the tree in your home. How not to decorate it with silver and gold. Jeremiah 10, 24th book of the Bible, of the first 39 books that make up the Old Testament. So anyway, Saturn equals 93, keeper of time. They tell us in science that the sun is 93 million miles away. In gematria, God's sun equals 93. So does the word crucifix. Christianity equals 930, 930. Saturnalia, Christianity, Christmas, rituals, the sun. Christmas comes just after the winter solstice. I just did a video on the death of the young woman, the MTV 16 and pregnant, former star. Showed how she was found dead on winter solstice, how she was born in 93, plus a whole lot more. A lot of rituals go on in this world. A lot of ritual murder, and I think also faking of deaths by the number. You know, I can't say for certain if any of these people are dead. If they're all dead, if they've all faked their death, I do not know that much. I'm just showing you why these people are chosen, why we read about them. Look at the name Howard Stern. It equals 55, just like the name Joey, like Santa, like Satan, like December. The word sacrifice, with the S exception, also sums to 55. He was dead at age 49. The product of 7 times 7. Christ, 77 again. You know? Another surprise death. They said no trauma, but weren't sure what killed him. Arsenic, the 33rd element on the periodic table, been known all throughout history to be used to poison people without a trace. Arsenic, the 33rd element, atomic weight is 74. In gematria, arsenic equals 33. Remember, Jesus equals 74, cross 74, gospel 74, Messiah 74. Special number. Jesus on the cross at 33. Out of the 50 states, only one sums to 74. Oregon, the 33rd state. This man who died, he was known for saying Baba Booey. He'd show up on TV and yell Baba Booey in the background. Has gematria of 68, like Howard Stern's full name. I noticed from Howard Stern's last birthday, he's currently 62 years old. To the death, 347 days, the 69th prime number. I think about the 69 at the top of the Masonic Arch. I'm sure Howard Stern's a Freemason. Almost everyone in show business is a Freemason. So I'll link this post. You know, since it's Christmas, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But I think there's some real knowledge and power here. I'll do a separate video on it later. I just don't want to hurt any Christians' feelings, I guess, today on Christmas. And for those of you who've been following my football work, the Colts were eliminated yesterday. Remember, my pick is Giants versus Colts in the Super Bowl. So half of that's eliminated. I've been following the pattern of 58, which is why I made that prediction. The Colts went out yesterday with the sum of 58 points, 33-25. It's the 97th season of the NFL, 97, the 25th prime number. There was a relationship with the Vikings and Colts. They both lost with 25 yesterday. I said early in the season the Patriots were getting some major tributes, and I said if I'm wrong about the Colts, remember what I'm documenting about the Patriots right now. We could end up seeing Giants and Patriots again. I might have miscalculated. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season, and what I've been saying for years is this isn't an exact science. This is an ongoing study. It can be very accurate, but sometimes mistakes are made, and I didn't mean to mislead anyone with this Colts Super Bowl pick. And you know what else I've documented? It's very possible that these people have backup plans. You know, they might have a lead narrative, but if things go wrong, plan B, maybe a plan C. Wise men usually have multiple plans. And before I get into what the rest of this video is about, I want to compliment RFG Chosen One. I have not watched this video, but a number of people have already watched this video and gotten back to me and said they see this young man maturing. I'll watch your video, RFG. I just appreciate that I guess you sent some positive vibrations this way, so thank you. And it's funny he did that, because in my mind I was thinking he's probably taking heat right now because he had a similar pick to myself. And what I was going to say for anyone attacking him, or me, is you know what? We put ourselves out here. We put our faces on the screen. We say what we think. We teach knowledge. We do it for free. You know? It's easy to be a hater. So anyway, now let me get to what this video is about. I want to talk about synchronicity in this world. You know, being open-minded, not coming to false conclusions. 2 people have put out videos saying I'm lying about what happened to my home on Christmas Eve. And we're just going to go through the arguments and listen to the reasoning, and I'm going to respond to every point made here in case anyone else feels this way. You guys, I have been explaining. Let me bring myself back on the screen before we get into this. Listen to me. I have been explaining since I was 31 years old. I'm 33 now. And for all you saying, ooh, he's 33. I mean, I had to turn 33 at some point. I've been putting this work up on the internet since I was 30. I learned this knowledge of gematria when I was 30. The way things happened, the way things worked out. After looking for, you know, something solid, something scientific to show what's wrong in this world. At age 30, I discovered gematria and how it was being used in this world, and I've been working to better understand it and teach more about it. And I've explained since the beginning, this isn't an exact system. But anyway, I'm only here to wake up people, spread knowledge, so that we can fix this world for the better. And since I've been doing that, I've had some very bad things happen in my life. On November 15th, 2014, I left my home for a short period of time during the evening. Not for anything mischievous, because a friend really needed me. I was gone from 1:30 to 7 in the morning. 5.5 hours. And in that time, my home was ripped off. My livelihood was destroyed. Everything I had saved up for a very long period of time was stolen. That was shortly after I exposed what had been done, the politically staged shooting at a nearby high school in Washington State where I live. Home completely ripped off. Found out that my neighbor was involved. Found out that the local police were very much likely involved. Next thing I knew, my neighbor went out and filed a restraining order against me. When I went to court to explain what was going on, I thought that there was no way the judge would uphold a restraining order by someone who had clearly just burglarized my house and was taunting me. And to my surprise, it was upheld. I lost rights as a citizen. I wasn't able to own a weapon anymore because I lived across this man who I was now deemed a threat to. The man who robbed my house, I was being deemed a threat to, instead of vice versa. So that man, he began to harass me once he had that privilege, and I knew that I couldn't respond. He had this restraining order, and I just put up with it for months. One day, he was berating me while I was literally weeding my yard, beginning of spring. I finally turned around and told him to F off and go back in his house, and he called the police, and the police came and arrested me. I'd never been arrested before, you know? And having an arrest record's not good when your livelihood is working with children. That's what I've done as an adult. I've worked in public schools, private schools, group homes, teen homeless shelters. So anyway, you know, you don't want an arrest record when you work with children. It's a competitive market. There's a lot of people are in it. Because honestly, it's not even that hard to get into if you really want to do it. But I don't do it because it's easy to get into or it's an easy job. I do it because I like helping children. So anyway, and I should say I like helping people, which is why I'm here, you know, speaking to adults now for the most part. You know, I don't have many children in my audience. And for any children I do have, you know, understand I'm a flawed man. Don't mimic my behavior, my ranting. I know in real life that stuff usually won't get you very far. But sometimes online you gotta do things to hold people's attention, which is what I've learned and how I built up an audience. You can watch my first 200 videos. All I did was talk nice and sweet. Not many people wanted to listen. So anyway, if you guys are picking up a little music in the background, my girlfriend's working out. But anyhow, look, since I've been 31, I've had my house ripped off. Prior to having my house ripped off, about 6 months before that happened, I started getting bizarre letters in the mail. I guess it was more than 6 months. I started getting these bizarre letters in the mail at the end of being 30, before turning 31. And just really weird mail. It would always come from an anonymous address, but it would have a postmark so you could see where it was coming from. It came from different regions of the country. Everyone referred to me as Joshua. Joshua. And I had said one time that in a video, just one time out of the hundreds of videos I had said one time that when I was younger, up to the present, people have always accidentally called me Joshua. And, you know, before I knew about gematria, I didn't have as much of an understanding of that. But then I've found that I have this relationship with the number 74 all throughout my life, 4774, and the name Joshua has gematria 74. I'm born in Oregon, the only state with 74 gematria, plus a whole lot of other things. So anyway, all these people started sending me mail from all over, calling me Joshua, and sending me really weird things, you know, like cut out letters with these bizarre phrases, pictures of road signs, collages, cryptic messages. One time I got a group of letters. They all showed up on the same day from these same cities, or not from the same cities, from different cities, but they all arrived on the same day. And one of those 3 letters, it said, "Happy 33rd birthday, your last." I was 31 then, and I said, whatever. I'm not going to let, you know, somebody try to get in my head and intimidate me. You know, send mail to somebody's one thing. We'll see if anybody shows up at the doorstep. So anyway, letters. Home gets ripped off. Neighbor starts harassing. Jailed. You know, I've been through a lot. Last year in January, I had USA Today write an article about me, making fun of me. You know, making fun of my work, making me sound like a Looney Tune, a vile human being. I think that's what word they used. A very vile blog, 2000 style or something. And the reason they wrote that article is because I had said what was going to happen in the Super Bowl before it happened. You know, they were trying to discredit me, make it seem like my work was obnoxious and nonsensical. And I've been told that another big publication wrote something today attacking me as well. So, you know, I'll get to that. I got so many things to deal with right now. You know, I have a hole in the side of my house, and the only reason I put out that information is so people know, you know, that I have been threatened. Very bizarre things are happening. I'll remind you in a moment what happened on my 33rd birthday this year, what the national news story was that day, in case you don't remember that. But first, I just want to address, or you know what, before I address this, let's just say what happened on my 33rd birthday. Let me find this story here. It's one of these tabs, right here. This supposedly happened on July 18th, but the story came out July 21st. It wasn't a news story until July 21st, which happened to be my 33rd birthday. And what the story was this man, Charles Kinsey, was supposedly shot by police in the street while working at a group home with autistic children, just shot needlessly while helping one of the autistic children. And the reason this is so interesting is because when I figured out gematria, what I was doing was working at a group home, managing a group home program for autistic children. Managing this program, working with autistic children. Some autistic children have a tendency to essentially want to escape the environment they're in and just begin walking. So a lot of autistic children will want to just walk out of the home that they're in, and they'll walk a safe path for the most part. They'll stay on a sidewalk and walk, and they'll walk distances. I used to walk after this young... Listen to this. This is a real story. For one of the children that I had, he was 19 years old. He was about 6'4". He was from Africa. His name was Subi. You know, very, very intelligent, very bright, but he liked to walk. And oftentimes he would dart out of the house, and I would have to walk with Subi for miles. Miles. And oftentimes I'd have to call the police, not for anything violent to happen. They understood they'd come pick us up, and they would take us back to the home. Subi knew to cooperate with the police and get in the car. A lot of times he wasn't going to go back with anyone else. But he understood because he'd had an experience in the past where they had to put the hands on. He didn't like that, so he knew to just get in the car. And, you know, the point is there's people that do this all throughout the nation. They have to work with police to get autistic children back home. This story of a man walking out of the street and getting shot, it's just so ridiculous is the point. But this was the national news story. And this man, he was smiling on TV in hospital bed, and he said the bullet felt like a mosquito bite. Look at this. This story came out July 21st on my birthday. Keep in mind, they said it happened July 18th. 18/7, like 187, the homicide code. This story perpetuated racial stereotypes. It came on a date with 44 numerology, like shooting, officer, trooper, sheriff, kill. There's a lot of things here, but here's what I just want to get to and show you. Look at this. The guy who got shot, his name has the same gematria as what I use for YouTube. And think about what I've been doing. This entire time since working at that job, I've been exposing how there's these false flag shootings by the numbers, tributes on my 33rd birthday, an age I've been warned about. This is the national news story. You know, this is what I was doing when I found gematria, managing an autistic children's group home. You think that's a coincidence? You know, and then think about what else is going on right now in my life. I'm trying to launch this social media website so that we, truth speakers, can unite, you know, grow together, become a community, make new friends, make stronger relationships, work together, take this world back. And what's happened? All the major providers, for the most part, have blocked us as a spam site, you know, making it so people can't sign up for the website. And then meanwhile, all these people are making videos about me being a shill and a fraud. I mean, what? I just got, what? How many of the last sports championships have I nailed? I finally missed part of one, and now I'm a fraud? It's just like, let's be honest, people. Anyway, let's get to this. These videos made saying I am lying about what has happened to my house. Last night, Christmas Eve, I was in Portland, Oregon, visiting family. I got a call from police. People are saying I should give out the case number so they can verify. And you know what? I don't have any problem giving out the case number if you really want to call and see if this happened. Bothell Police Department, Washington State. Bothell is spelled like bot hell. Bothell. And the reason that I live in Bothell is not because of its name. I always thought it was the weirdest, craziest name. The reason why I live here is because it's close to Seattle, and it was very affordable when I bought here. It was the best deal I could get on a home around, and that's what it ultimately came down to. Bothell's not a bad place to live. Convenient access to Seattle, the east side, everything. And I got the home at rock bottom price. So anyway, you really want to call the Bothell, Washington Police Department and see if this is a true story. Ask for case number 16-30906. And yes, if you follow my work, you might look at that number and say, what? I did not choose this number. This is what was given to me over the phone while I was in Portland when I was notified that a car had crashed into my house. You know, I had to drive up in the middle of the night, which is when I recorded the damage, and people want to say I'm making it up. I'm just putting the information out there so people can see what's going on in my life, you know. I'm not someone who believes much in coincidence, but I'll tell you more of a story after I address this information put out. I'll tell you the synchronicities with what happened last night, because this is pretty fascinating. But first, here's a man named Dave J., who has slandered me before. He says that this is a hoax, what happened to my home. And, for any of you who follow this person, this is a reminder that the many people on YouTube are not here for the truth. They're not quality researchers. They're just putting out nonsense, confusion. The term is gatekeepers. This is someone who's attacking me because they're paid to attack people on here because I'm actually putting out information that helps us all. And that is why these things are happening in my life, most likely. So, let's listen to his video and I will just address his points in case you feel this way.
Yeah, so here you go. You have this person, and I put him in quotes because I've talked about this person before, this Zachary K. Hubbard character.
So he claims that I'm somebody named Joshua Greenberg. And remember, there's a network of people who not email me, they send me mail in the physical mailbox and write Joshua Hubbard. He says I'm Joshua Greenberg, which I am not. If you watch his video, it's a comedy. Here we go.
This person's claiming that a car went through the side of their house last night.
So, I was notified by police that a car had crashed into my home. When I got home, the car was not there. When I got home, it was the middle of the night. The car was gone. We'll just address this, but he's trying to make it seem like I'm lying about this. This is exactly what happened to me last night. My trip to visit my family was ruined. I didn't get to hardly spend any time with anybody. I don't see my family that often. I had to come back because the police officer who notified me of this also let me know that I should come home because the home was unsecure and you could get inside the premises. And because they were busy because it was Christmas Eve, I guess they said they're busy. Because they're busy, they couldn't guard my premises. They'd try to do an active patrol, but no promises. And the police normally don't come by my neighborhood that often. There was a time when they used to camp across the street before the home was ripped off, but that's another story. So let's watch this some more.
Of course, is a hoax. Just like with the Dabu 7 guy who did the same hoax.
So a lot of people are saying Dabu 7 last year claimed his house was hit by a car. I did not know that. I don't follow Dabu 7. I know that he truly is a legitimate shill. He's someone who's tried to get my channel shut down by getting me into copyright problems. He is not here for the truth either. And if he did claim this last year, these people plan things out. How long have I been making videos for? Dabu 7 tried to ruin my channel about 18 months ago. So I didn't know this about Dabu 7. And, maybe a drunk driver really did hit Dabu 7's house. It's also possible. I don't know. But I didn't know about that. And because that happened to Dabu 7, don't say it's the same thing with me, okay? Because that's not what it is.
Hoax a while back. This you can see is nothing more than heavy equipment having gone through here at one time. Heavy equipment goes through, pushes in the side of the house. That's where your damage comes from because there's no proof at all whatsoever.
Whoops, I clicked on the wrong one. But hey, that worked anyway. So he's saying it's heavy equipment. Wait, he's saying this is heavy equipment right here. What it looks like happened to me is it looks like the person slammed on the brakes once they got to this point. That's what it looks like to me. Because the road's right here. It's a 30 mile per hour road, but most people drive 40 on it, like most places in America. So most people are traveling 40. It looks like when they got to this point, they hit the brakes. And perhaps because I don't know if this was the plan to just do that much damage and they didn't want to take it all the way back and total the vehicle on the property. But what I was told is the vehicle that hit it was a white Escalade lifted. So a massive vehicle. Okay, let's just continue. White Escalade is supposedly what hit the house.
While back. This you can see is nothing more than heavy equipment having gone through here at one time.
Heavy equipment, I mean, look at how it is, you guys. You know why it's probably more tore up here than here? Is because there's a ledge here. I'm just thinking maybe like the water in the ground. We just had snowfall and it melted. There's still a little bit sitting on the backyard. Gets more light out here. But anyway, there's some reason that it tore up more here. I don't know why the brakes would come harder on that side. But I think maybe just the incline of the grass. If you can see, the hill slopes down here. For whatever reason, though, that's what it looks like. It looks like they slammed on the brakes there, and then that's what tore up the grass. You know, think about it. Your wheels are rolling, then you hit the brakes, so then they're not rolling, so it tears wet grass. This is Washington State, man.
Time. Heavy equipment goes through, pushes in the side of the house. That's where your damage comes from, because there's no proof at all whatsoever of a car or truck hitting. This glass is from the window. There's no car glass anywhere. There's of course the 7 or the G, the 7 code idea.
So look, him and Russian Vids made a video emphasizing the big G. Understand, the Freemasons who are builders, go to Home Depot and with your gematria goggles, pay attention to the labels and the symbolism everywhere. I mean, you can still buy this brand of insulation. This is what was under the home before I even lived there. You know, I didn't rip up my house so the G was hanging out. This is how, just again, go to Home Depot, look at insulation, look at products. This is all over. The Freemasons have stamped their symbols all over this world. TM for trademark, T's the 20th, M's the 13th, 33. I mean, come on, you guys. Because the insulation's hanging out with a G, guess what? How many homes do you think have this insulation with a G under them in America? You know? People, so many of the people on YouTube making videos, they do not have good judgment, reasoning. This isn't, it's just heavy equipment. What's he mean it's heavy equipment? A bulldozer? If a car drove over it with just rolling wheels, it wouldn't have ripped up the grass, you know? The brakes were slammed on there. I imagine the car was going 40 and hit the brakes right there. And as for he said, just the glass out of the from the window on the side of the house. Well, imagine that a big Escalade hit it with the front of the windshield. I bet you it cracked the windshield. You know, but that doesn't mean that the glass is going to shatter on the sides. It's leading with the front of the car. The house is made out of wood. He's talking about what happens when two automobiles hit each other. An automobile is a lot more solid than a house, you know? Wood frame construction. I mean, has Dave J ever built anything before? I mean, come on, Dave.
But there's no proof on this fence that a car or a truck hit it.
Well, what do you think happened, man? It's destroyed. And what you don't know is on the other side of the fence, there's a bunch of broken boards splintered off that flew a good 20, 30 feet in the air, landing on the other side of this fence. So some of them with force hit it, like a big Escalade.
None. There's no paint. There's no bumper. There's no broken car glass, like I said. And also here, let me get to this point here. Here, look across here. This would be where the car hit, right? That's what he's claiming. But there's no proof that a car hit there. There's no parts of the car left.
So why would there be parts of the car? This is a big white Escalade. It went through wood frame construction. You know, you think an Escalade's gonna fall apart hitting the house? And they told me the Escalade was white. Again, I didn't get to see it. And when the police officer called me, he said that the vehicle. He didn't say anything about the vehicle having been towed away yet. I'm trying to remember the order of events. I think he called me back later to let me know the vehicle and their insurance. So I have the person's insurance policy number.
Right? This is just a controlled demolition. This is just reconstruction of a house. And this person's going to claim that they were a victim of a car attack or a drunk driver or whatever he's going to try and claim. This is nothing more than insurance fraud at its finest, period. So, anyways, of course nobody died, nobody got hurt, and this guy is in...
So essentially what he's saying, this is his theory that he's leading with. He's saying that on Christmas Eve, I went and got a piece of heavy equipment and, destroyed my house. And then I guess, went and took the piece of heavy equipment somewhere. Think about this. How many people own a piece of heavy equipment? Where are you going to rent a piece of heavy equipment late at night on Christmas Eve? It's ridiculous. But the reason I'm responding to this is because a ton of people that follow my work are questioning me right now on my blog, on my video channel. I'm just thinking, are you serious, people?
In fact, a false witness.
Okay, you guys. You know what? I just showed this the other night. About how my Siri came on. I mean, you guys saw it in my other video. It just did it again. My Siri just came on its own. This time it's not recording every single thing I'm saying, though. I'm saying, are you serious, people? That turned it on. That is weird. I never used that Siri thing ever. It's come on now twice while recording. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, get back to this here.
You know, so just again, take a look at the sides. There's no scrapings from the. You know, what color was this?
The house is vinyl. That's vinyl. Do you know what vinyl is? It's plastic. And they said it was a white Escalade. It's white siding, white Escalade. I don't know if plastic's going to scrape. Sure will bust it up, though. I mean, look at the walls all pushed in. It's knocked up off the foundation. Up above, the beams up here, the wood beams, a bunch of them got pulled up and out. So, you know, the structure took a good amount of damage.
Car. What color was this truck? Where did it go after it pulled out? Where's the proof that there any tow truck came and got it out? There's just one heavy equipment track coming in, and that's it. Right? In and out.
So again, I mean, this is just poor logic. If a heavy piece of equipment went in, wouldn't it have to come out too? I mean, what's his argument? I imagine that the vehicle, being a big-ass Escalade, was probably able to still drive, and they probably just backed it out. You know?
Out on the same track. Right? So anyways, you know, look at what these people are trying to tell you. You know, observe, take a look at the actual details of the story and see if it makes any sense.
It looks like a car went off the road, hit the brakes right here, and smashed into the corner of the house. You know? Listen to listen to his details. Where's the track of it coming back? You know, apparently that's only necessary for a truck, but not for a piece of heavy equipment, as he continues to say.
This doesn't make sense. This is a setup.
And, you know, the other thing is, guys, there's crime tape there. I didn't put that crime tape there. Is there a place you can buy crime tape? So now here's Russian Vids, who often follows Dave J. When Dave J makes a video about me, Russian Vids usually follows right behind him. As if Dave J is Russian Vid's handler. Let's watch.
This was just brought to my attention. Supposedly, Zachary K. Hubbard has some type of accident. A vehicle crashed into his home. Let's just take a look at this footage.
Welcome back. Zach here. This is what the...
Well, first off, before I even play...
So, Russian Vids has ads on his channel. I had to skip through the ad just to watch this video. You know, he's making money off lying about my inconvenience. And he's going to accuse me of trying to raise money. Notice I'm not asking for any money for this, you guys. I have insurance. I can take care of this. It's an inconvenience. Last night, I had plans to see my dad today. He had to work all day yesterday. I didn't get to see him. I had plans to see him today. I see my dad about once a year. I had to come back up last night, so I didn't get to see my dad at all. It's just, you know, this is a major inconvenience headache to me. I didn't want to have to drive back in the middle of the night after just getting down to Portland after driving all the way down there. I had to come right back. You know? I'll get to the phone call I got last night. That's the interesting part of this story.
Play the whole entire video. Just take a look at this trench. I mean, the amount of...
So, trench. So, how much does an Escalade weigh? How about you want to do some research? Go look at how much an Escalade weighs, and then do a little physics research. If you slam on the brakes on wet grass, what's going to happen?
The grass that was basically destroyed, I'm not buying it. You know, this looks like a lot of effort went into digging up a trench here, not from a vehicle. And this basic tire This tire mark on the grass, the lawn, crashed right into the fence. Something not right about this whatsoever. Just basically.
So he's saying, see, it looks like the tire mark should have hit this part. Understand, this is a gated fence. This is a hinge. See the hinge? It's because the people who lived here, they had an RV before. So this is a double, this was a gate that opened up real wide. When she hit, it probably sent, this part got all busted off. This part got knocked back. She hit through here. Look at where the lead is. So anyway. You guys never seen that show Brain Games on National Geographic? They show how easy it is for your eyes to deceive you in the way things appear when they're shown on TV. Just understand this is a gated fence wide. This side all got busted off where obviously the majority of the car went through. This part swung free.
Like Dave J said in his video, nothing more than a controlled demolition.
Damage looks like from the outside.
And just look how close that trench is to the fence. Not buying it. Again, the tire tracks going towards this fence doesn't add up, doesn't make sense.
The Christmas Eve special. First time there's ever been crime scene tape at the house, hopefully the last. Yeah, they got it pretty good, Truth Seeker. Have to fix the window and a whole lot more. Holy smokes.
What do you see coming up right here? Take a look. There's your G. I'll get a little bit better shot of it right there.
So if that G is purposefully out, which I highly doubt, I was notified through the police. I wasn't home. I'd just gone down to Portland. It's the holiday. Everybody knows. I live up in Seattle. My family's in Portland. Said it a million times. Last thing I wanted to do last night in the middle of the night, as tired as I already was from traveling, was drive all the way back to deal with a hole in my house.
And your G, when it comes to Freemasonry, A through Z.
And keep in mind, Russian Vids learned all of this from me, and he loves to make videos attacking me while sharing my knowledge. I mean, what is that about? What is that about?
26. Flip it over, you get your 33. Now, if you think that's just a coincidence when it comes to the Freemason number of 33, let's continue on. I'll point something else out. Let's continue on at this point.
Yeah, they got it pretty good, Truth Seeker.
Basically, what's happening here, I think Zach is just getting his garage redone. That's what it all comes down to. So, just a nice prop.
What do I need to get my garage redone for? There's nothing wrong with my garage. My garage was perfectly fine. I'm not a fraud. I've never scammed anybody. Why would I want a new garage? Why would I want my house, tore up and made unsafe? Think about it. What's the incentive here? New garage? What?
Do a little pre-demolition before the garage comes down. But one reason or another, the garage must come down for remodeling or whatever reason.
One reason or another. Yeah, he can't think of a reason. This is what, you guys, this is why Russian Vids and a lot of these channels that a lot of you guys like, they do not use sound logic. They just say things like this all the time. This is the part where he's talking about what my motive is. My motive is one reason or another, in the words of Russian Vids. What is that? Who would want their home made unsafe?
He just fits this in just for the sake of this, making this video. And it's all about gaining sympathy with his subscribers. Give them more money. And again,
No, it's not about gaining more sympathy. It's about documenting what's going on in my life in light of everything else. That's what it's about. Free to find truth. Chose that name for a reason. The truth should be free. I'm not here to tell lies. And if you think I ever lied to you, that's probably just because you had a difference in beliefs. And I've always said I could be wrong.
I'll get into that in a little bit.
Have to fix the window and a whole lot more.
Doesn't seem too upset. If this happened to me, I'd be freaking out. I'd be I wouldn't be too happy. I wouldn't be laughing whatsoever.
Well, if that's if it was him. I'm not gonna freak out. If people are trying to intimidate me, they're not gonna you know what? Let me put myself on the screen as I explain this. Because, Russian Vids, he doesn't put his face on the screen. Russian Vids, if you were me, you would put your face on the screen. If you were me, you wouldn't take somebody's knowledge and then attack them and slander them and make up all this stuff about them. Russian Vids, you guys, blackmailed me. He wrote me an email a long time ago and he says, if you support the Flat Earth video, I'll take down my video saying you're a Satanist. Just think about that. A lot of these channels out here you guys like are frauds. KJ Osborne, major fraud. All for Truth, the website we were building, got hacked and destroyed, costing all of us time, money, resources, everyone who contributed to the campaign. And then what? Then he goes on to say that I hacked his Twitter, which is a complete lie. Nobody hacked KJ's Twitter. That was all part of just mocking what happened to the campaign I was doing to build this website to get this community going, which is up. And everybody's joined. It's free to join. Completely safe, completely secure place to have conversations, debates, all of you who are about flat earth and every other topic. Great website to join. And the website's not about me. I'm not really into flat earth, but I like watching all these people have these nice, polite conversations there about flat earth, discussing things, sharing different opinions on that and a million other topics. And as more people join, more conversations, we'll get the cream of the crop. Debating points, this is just what happens. People share information, knowledge. Everyone learns from each other. This is what I'm trying to create. Why isn't Russian Vids and Dave J making a video about All for Truth? Why are they making a video about how I'm lying about that my house got destroyed? This isn't a lie. Does this look like a lie to you guys? Yeah, I wanted to put the big G's out there and the insulation that's been there since 1960.
Holy smokes.
Big joke.
I'm just glad I wasn't in the garage recording a video when it happened. So yeah, that's where the door used to be. That's what's left of the gate. At least they didn't drive through the rest of my fence, huh? Shed's still intact. But yeah, the garage, it seemed...
What it looks like to me is he had a Bobcat come back over here, start the demolition process. The one thing I find interesting, there's no previous footage. Right after the fact when the supposed vehicle is here, why wasn't that recorded? Why is it being recorded?
Why isn't it recorded? Here's a better question. Why are you making so many assumptions? It's Christmas Eve. I'm visiting my family in Portland, Oregon. Let me just see if I can even look this up. I'll tell you, here's exactly what happened last night. A lot of I haven't exactly been getting along with my sister. She had breast cancer earlier this year, had to get surgery. We've been nice to each other. We've been getting along. This year she asked if I'd go to church with her. I haven't been to church in a long time. This is interesting. So I went to this Christmas service and, I sat there, listened. When the minister was up there speaking, it's a Lutheran church. I wanted to go up there and just take the mic out of his hand and take over the sermon. Because you know what he started talking about? He started talking about Zika virus and how it's so great that we got through the year without it becoming a catastrophe. He talked about how the Lord took Prince and Muhammad Ali from us. I just wanted to go up there and tell the truth about Zika, let him know to check out my YouTube channel about what I showed about Prince and Muhammad Ali before they both died. Called Prince's Death in February 2014. I said Muhammad Ali, why he would die at age 74. Said it a number of times after that. Blog, video channel. Muhammad equals 74. Jesus 74. Cross 74. Special number. Masonic 74. Jewish 74. G, it is the 7th letter. Special number to the Freemasons. It's why it's in their compass and square. It's why it's on so many logos. It's why it's on Gatorade. This is essentially like saying, a Gatorade bottle's in the shot, so there's the G in the shot. Just think about how much these symbols are all over. Think about how many people are wearing all these symbols on their clothes, products they're buying. These symbols are everywhere. You rip the siding off the homes throughout America. This is under a lot of them. So anyway, that's why I wasn't there to document. You know, to me, I just thought, you got to be kidding me. I'm getting called on. Oh, so let's go on with the story. So anyway, the church service was from 7 to 8. My dad was getting off work at 8 o'clock last night. I was supposed to call him after he got off to see what time, because he had a morning shift Christmas morning. He wasn't sure if he was going to work till 10 or noon. So I was supposed to call him at 8 because he'd know by then if he was working till 10 or noon to see him. So anyway, I was pulling my phone out of my pocket to call my dad at about 8:20 after we drove back from just attending this church service, and I had a ton of missed calls from the same number, you know, a number not on my phone. And my girlfriend looked at her phone, and I pay for her phone. We're on the same plan. I pay for my mom's phone too. She looked, and she had a ton of calls from the same missed number. Both of our phones were on silent because we'd been in church. And so anyway, I called the number back, and it went straight to a busy tone. I thought, oh, that's interesting. What kind of number goes straight to a busy tone? Well, in 10 seconds, the number was calling me back. And the person started, "Hi, I'm Officer Ware. I regret to tell you this on Christmas evening, but your home has been struck by a large truck, and there is significant damage. The corner of your home is missing." And I said, "When did this happen?" He said, "It happened a little before 8 o'clock. So about the same time I was getting out of this church service. How strange." I asked him, I said, "Well, look, I just got down here to visit my family. I have plans to visit some family in the morning that I haven't seen." I said, "Is there any way you guys can keep an extra patrol?" I said, "There used to be a police car who'd park all the time across the street from my house. Is there any way you guys can just camp a guy out over there?" When I got arrested by the police, they sent a whole army of them in no time. So I know that this city has plenty of police. But anyway, he said it was busy because it was Christmas Eve and he couldn't make any promises. He recommended that I come back up to the house because the premises weren't secure. It would be easy to thieve from the garage and the home. And I said, "Well, I guess I don't really have a choice then. I guess I got to come back." I said, "Well, thanks for the call, officer." I was at my sister's house at the time, you know, just getting back from the church. And we were about to sit down and have some pie. She made some homemade pie. You know, just the whole moment changed. And my mom started to freak out. I said, "Calm down, Mom." I said, "It's just the house. You know, it's all replaceable." And from there, I had to drive from my sister's house back to my mom's house because I had to do something for her before I went back up. She needed me to set up this piece of technology for her, so I had to go do that real quick. You know, I was planning on being down there till Monday, so I had to do a bunch of things that I thought I'd have more time to do. Oh, I also had to call the insurance. I had to call and set up the adjuster and let them know what happened. So anyway, I got on the road from Portland area little after 10:30 by the time everything was said and done, and had to drive 3.5 hours, you know, up to where I live. So I got home at about 2 in the morning, and I just put together a quick video. It was dark. I couldn't really document what was outside. It's too dark. It's not going to show up on the camera that well. And I just showed what it looked like inside the garage. I said, "Look at this, you guys. Christmas Eve, my house got hit by a car." I wake up and I got a million posts saying that it's an obvious hoax. You guys, I'm not here for views or to lie to you. I'm just showing you. And I'm also not here to inspire fear. I'm trying to show you guys, you know, don't be fearful. These people might try to intimidate you. But look at this. These are the tactics of sad and pathetic people. So anyway, I'm just showing you what it is. And at the same time, it's all manageable. You got homeowners insurance, they'll take care of it. Plus, they told me that this person who did it has an insurance policy and it should take care of it. So I have all that information.
After the fact, that's one thing I find pretty interesting. If Zach was home at the time, of course, he could have came out with his video camera and recorded the vehicle in the back. Where is the footage of that?
Better days. A lot better.
See how he just makes that huge empty assumption? Like, I of course I was there. I should have photographed it. No, I wasn't there. There's more that I can tell you guys about this. Something very suspicious happened when I was leaving my house with my same neighbor who burglarized my house. And honestly, when the officer first called me, my blood pressure probably doubled because before he told me that a car ran into my house, just when he introduced himself and in his tone, I thought he was about to tell me the house had been ripped off again. I'm glad that didn't happen, because I probably would be in jail right now. So anyway, I mean, this wasn't good news either, but it was better than getting ripped off again by the same person.
There's the garage. Nothing in there of value.
I don't know about these wires.
The house is secure. Sure, there's the door that's basically leads to the house, has a lock on it. And again, there's nothing more for construction for a new garage that's going to come in. Already has stuff already
Let's just listen to him make this point.
packed away, ready to go.
It's a garage, dude. How many people have boxed up stuff in their garage? And honestly, that's a bin full of things that I use, and it's just sitting on top of the desk. It's just, this is such shit analysis.
There it is. That's the Gematria Effect Studios.
Talking about Gematria, we'll get into that again at the very, very end here.
The good news is I can still record videos in there, Truth Seeker. We'll get it fixed. Have a great...
Remember, if it was Russian Vids, he'd be freaking out. You know, and Russian Vids normally is freaking out about things he doesn't need to be freaking out about. Nobody needs to be freaking out. There's enemies out here. They're cowards. I'm showing you, these people can be dealt with.
Great Christmas. Until next time.
Now, again, talking about the number 33, like I showed with the G being 33, as you see here. It's basically everywhere in this video. Let me get to that right point. There's
Again, these guys have must never done any type of construction or framing or put in any insulation for anything. It's just... It's like, you guys got to get out more. You guys are making all your judgments from watching other YouTube channels which push all this fear and paranoia.
There's the one there, and there's one above as well. If I can get to that right spot. There you go. there's your other G, perfectly positioned. I'm sure this piece of slab was pulled up so that the G would be showing perfectly for this video. And again,
so just think about it, you guys. It's just like a bunch of rows with a bunch of G's on them. There's probably like 3-4 G's going up the side of the house. Plus, they're just everywhere. I mean, if you tore it all off, there'd be a ton of G's there.
that 33. It just so happens Zach has this True Seeker Network revolution. And it's all for this launch. And look how much he's asking for in donations. Okay? Just so happens to be 33,000.
And again, why are we doing 33,000? I've explained it since the beginning of the campaign. The word justice equals 33, the word teacher. And I said this gang that uses these numbers, they don't own these numbers. Let's flip the script on them. And what else did I say? Putting this information out there raises awareness. Awareness, consciousness, this is what needs to happen. The masses are not aware of the patterns and how these numbers are used against them. I'm not using the numbers with a sinister purpose. I'm saying let's change it. Let's make 33 about justice. Let's make this world about justice instead of torment. There's another 33 word. Russian Vids and Dave J, the whole time I've been here, have made all these false videos about me, creating all these false rumors, and a lot of people listen to them. Both of them have been here longer than me. They have, you know, Russian Vids apparently has almost 60,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. I don't know how this person has more subscribers than me with their shit analysis, but somehow people are persuaded by this person. A ton of people who follow my channel, they're asking me and questioning about this video. They're saying, what do you say about this, Zach? I hope this isn't a hoax, Zach. I thought I could trust you. You guys, this happened. I can't believe anyone's persuaded by these videos, honestly.
$1,000. That's his goal. Give me a complete break. Again, this is how I've seen this before, where these truth channels look for sympathy. You know, there's some controversy over Richie from Boston. I have nothing bad to say about Richie. He seems like a good guy, but you know, this whole deal with the laptop that caught on fire, I've never heard something like that. But I believe Richie's a good guy, and not quite sure what to think about that. Just very suspicious with a lot of people.
Okay, you guys, think about this. If you haven't seen what he's talking about with Richie from Boston, he got caught red-handed. He had these sound effects queued up for a live stream, and before the live stream went live, he got caught in the recording saying, "You guys hear them sound effects?" And then about 30-some minutes into the show, he played these sound effects and told his audience his computer was on fire. And then there was money raised for him because he supposedly lost his computer. Richie from Boston and a lot of these other scammers online really do hoax people and lie to them. You know, Richie from Boston, he didn't provide any evidence that his computer caught on fire. He put a computer that was a little bit busted up days later after I called him out, but it didn't sound like what he said. I mean, he said multiple times in the live recording that flames were coming out of his computer. It was melting. That's not what it showed when he showed this old busted up computer. And I bet a lot of people in this nation have an old computer that doesn't even work, sitting in a closet collecting dust. I'm sure Richie from Boston's one of those guys. You know? Just like a lot of people. Just put a little dent in it and say it caught on fire there. I'm sorry. You know, you want to say Richie from Boston's a good guy? You know, Richie from Boston, none of his work advances anything in this world. He puts out all this fear and confusion. He's another paid-for liar. He promotes false fear, misinformation, lies to his audience. And then you want to come and say this is a lie. Like I took a bobcat to my house on Christmas Eve. Come on now.
Coming online and basically looking for sympathy, asking for money, looking for donations. Just red flags all over the place. All over YouTube, nothing but red flags. All we get are hoaxes.
Have you guys ever heard me ask for sympathy? Seriously? And I didn't present either of my first two videos like in like feel sorry for me way. I'm just saying, look guys. Look at this. Christmas Eve, really?
All over the media. And all we get are hoaxes with these so-called truth speakers. Give me a break.
Okay. And then, I mean, half the times he makes these videos about me and then turns off the comments. And then here he makes it so only certain ones can get through. Plus, I'm blocked there. I can't ever respond to any of his videos. The first video he ever made attacking me was called Questions for Zachary K. Hubbard. And I answered every question. I wrote a really long response and he deleted it. Then I wrote it again. He deleted it again. He kept deleting it. You know, sometimes YouTube gets rid of comments, but he kept getting rid of the post. He wouldn't let it be there, and then he finally just blocked me, so I couldn't even comment there. Questions for Zachary K. Hubbard that he wouldn't let me answer. Then he plays that shit music. So anyway, Dave J, Russian Vids, the two guys that made those videos about me, both of them have a history of making videos about me. Dave J says I'm this guy named Joshua Greenberg. Oh God, do we need to look at this for a second in case you've never seen this? I mean,
Hello,
let's just...
truth seekers, good people of the world.
Alright, that's the recording of me from his video.
Since I put my face...
He's got the Stairway to Heaven to it. I just want to get to this Joshua Greenberg guy. Tell me if this looks like the same person. Does this look like the same person? I guess he does this morphin thing. His face over my face. Where is this? Okay, doesn't he just have an image? Okay, so this faded image back here is this Joshua Greenberg, and he's saying we're the same person. I mean, it's just so bizarre. Why? He finds a picture of a guy in a blue shirt named Joshua Greenberg, and... Oh, man. So anyway. This is Dave J. He started this rumor once upon a time. Then Russian Vids followed his lead. And also, what Dave J did is he caught that over my shoulder there was this book in the corner, and I did put it there on purpose. He said, look at how he put this book here on purpose. He's a Jewish Zionist agent. The book is about Jewish gematria, and what it was sent to by, or that book was sent to me by someone who was a subscriber who asked if they could have my address. They'd been following my work for a while. I trusted them enough. They said they bought a couple books they wanted me to look at, and they sent it to me. And a lot of people at the time were asking me gematria books. I put that up in the background so people could see it. I think people would see the book and go, oh, okay, here's maybe a gematria book I should check out. You know, to me that was just... It's not like I'm getting paid to sell the book. It's just people all the time were asking, what's a good gematria book? This one has a lot of knowledge. I'm exposing gematria, how these Jewish Zionists use this system to mock us, to steer us. You know? So anyway, Russian Vids followed Dave J, made pretty much the same video. Said I was a liar because I didn't believe in the flat earth. Then there was this video. I just re-uploaded this video. Russian Vids took this video after I made it and said me making this symbol was proof I was a Freemason. What I was doing is saying, putting yourself in a religion puts you in a group. That's what I said. It puts you in a group. And I was, using my hands to speak, as I always have. And the point I was making is, when you get yourself in a group, it opens up the door for divide and conquer. I'm talking about how Freemasons work out to divide and conquer. From my research, it shows that Freemasonry has their fingerprints all over organized religion, and it makes so much sense. I mean, what are most wars fought over in this world? Religion. So anyway, I make a video about that. I put it in a respectful message. I'm nice to Christians. He comes and makes this video saying, I'm a Satanist, I'm a Freemason, occultist. Next thing I know, I have all these people just trolling my channel, talking about how all this evil stuff, calling me Joshua and saying I'm a liar. These people are just creating needless hatred for me. And I'm not just putting out information for any one group of people. I'm putting out information for all people. Just trying to help out everyone. And I never said my religion or beliefs are better than anyone else's. I've always said, I could be wrong about everything. I express myself in ways that upset people sometimes, but, that's what I got to do to hold people's ear a lot of the time. And by the way, this video that they made this about, see, here's the book back here. They're making this big deal about the Jewish gematria. This video, the reason I made this video is because someone reached out to me and told me they wanted to kill themselves. They were really upset about all the knowledge they'd learned, what was going on in this world. And I made this video for them and everyone who felt like them. And I talked about how hard it is to be a truth seeker, a truth speaker, how it'll make the world turn against you, how it's the worst part about this, being isolated, feeling abandoned, feeling, low down, seeing how wrong the world is and nobody cares. And now everyone hates you for it. And I said, because of that, we need to create a community. We don't deserve to feel this way as truth seekers, truth speakers. That's what this video was about. Then what do they come with? They come with these videos attacking me, calling me a Satanist, a member of the synagogue of Satan. I mean, it's just so weak. Why aren't you spreading my message? Just trying to help people out. And then I got all these Christians saying how demonic I am when these people are taking these videos, twisting my words, twisting everything about it. Russian Vids and Dave J. each have made over 5 videos about me apiece. Russian Vids, before he deleted his channel and came back, already made several videos about me. So anyway, we talked about that. That's what happened on my 33rd birthday. Check this out. Synchronicity. Synchronicity. This is really suspicious. My birthday is July 21st. I was born July 21st, 1983. I turned 33 this summer. The date that story about the man working at the autistic children's home being shot. Interesting how they made him a black man. If you look at my research when I started, I said one of the main things I'm trying to do is stop the race war here. This racial programming and these false shootings meant to divide us. From my birthday to the date of this incident, my house being ran into by this car, supposedly a big white Escalade. I didn't get to see it with my own eyes, it's just what I was told. 156 days. Maybe I should do some gematria on Cadillac Escalade. That's just now popping in my head. I didn't even have that idea. I'll let you do it. Maybe there's a bonus there. I'll do it after. If there's something interesting, I'll check it out. But anyway, from my birthday to the date of the incident, 156 days. Remember, when you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 156. I just made a video days ago exposing the Star of David, Israel, 156. Remember, 911 is the 156th prime number. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. The World Trade Centers were built by a construction firm from Seattle named Magnuson Klemenkic Associates, a name in gematria that sums to 156. The World Trade Centers were built in 1968. They came crashing down 33 years later, 2001, on 9/11. 9/11 is the 156th prime. 33 years. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. The firm that built the World Trade Centers named gematria of 156. Does that seem beyond coincidence? Now this, in the history of the Jewish faith, supposedly they had the destruction of their 2 temples on Tisha B'Av, which in Jewish gematria equals 911. The destruction of the 2 temples on the same date in history, which was the 9th day of the 11th month. Tisha B'Av, 9/11, Two Towers on September 11th, the Dancing Israelis. You know? All Seeing Eye equals 119. Star of David, 119. Master Plan, 119. The Reflection of 911. Anyway, I just put out this video exposing all that knowledge and more about 156 just days before this. Very important video. You know, for people like Russian Vids and Dave Johnson, are you guys trying to fight the powers that be, or are you trying to serve them by discrediting me? And that message goes to all of my other critics. You know? I want to show you guys this, though. False flag in Jewish gematria is 156. This is a important number. 33, 156. False flag, also 33. It's like a false flag on my house. I would like to see the car that hit the house. You know? It would be important for the insurance claim. It was also a span of 157 days, or 22 weeks and 3 days, 223. The number for the Synagogue of Satan, Masonic. United States, 157. So look at this. I want to show you something, Truth Seeker. I put out this video. This is the one with Miley Cyrus wearing the Star of David. Talk a lot about 156. When I was making this video, Siri just came on out of nowhere. I'd never seen this before. Just watch this. Check this out. Look at this. Can you guys see this? I don't even know how to do this. Watch this. I'm going to show you guys this. You see my hands here. I'm not messing with my phone. My phone, I'm architects of society. Watch how this happens, True
builders.
Seeker.
Are you seeing these words? Freemason 42, knowledge 42, economics 42, history 42, architect 42. Building 42, Zionism 42.
See, when you look at this and understand that the Freemasons are builders and their symbols of the compass and square, it starts to make sense why a major product sold nationwide for insulation has a big G on it. You know, this is a Freemason-ran world, banking, government, industry.
Truth Seeker. I'm going to show you guys this. You see my hands here. I'm not messing with my phone. My phone, I've never seen it do this before. Siri just came on and is recording my conversation. Can you guys see this? I don't even know how to do this. How is this happening right now? Oh my God. I don't even know what's up with that, Truth Seeker. The phone was locked. You know how you have to do punch in the code, do your thumb unlock? That is some weird stuff.
My web search turns something up for Hey Sammy's words. Freemason 42, knowledge 42, economics 42, history 42, architect.
Okay, sorry, I gotta stop that. I don't even know how that just happened. That is so weird. But just look at all these things. Zion.
So there it is, Truth Seeker, you know. And I didn't mean to stop the video at 33 minutes. I was saying that. It's just, that's the way it worked out in this video. You know? And I honestly didn't need to make the video 42 minutes and 20 seconds either. When I make my videos, it's just like you see now. I'm going through the screen. I'm talking to it. Do you see any timer on this screen? There's no way for me to keep track of how long my video is unless I guess I really pay attention to the minutes. But I'm not going to be able to do the seconds in my head. I mean, my videos. I don't do them from script. I just do them from my blog posts, speaking the knowledge I know. And just as a reminder, there's synchronicity with these numbers. Dan Barrett, who learned from me years ago and has been making awesome videos. If you haven't seen this video he just did on Jeopardy by the numbers, it is mind-blowing. It's all about 53. We just saw George Michael die at 53. The word religion's 53. Anyway, watch this video by Dan Barrett. But look, we uploaded these videos at pretty much the same time, and they're the exact same length. Isn't that a trip? And I didn't do that on purpose. I'm sure Dan didn't either, you know? We're not coordinating. I didn't know Dan was making a video on... It blew my mind when I saw it. I thought, how weird is that? Him and I, kindred spirits. Love me some Dan the Man. So just giving you guys the update. You know, I said I wasn't going to do this post, but whatever. I mean, you listened all this time. It's Christmas. Let's talk about the number of the beast. This is the kind of knowledge I've been putting out to the world. Nobody ever put out this knowledge before, you know? I'm raising some eyebrows for the gang because I'm showing everybody their code. They use this code. You learn this code. You see how they mock us with the headlines. Look at this. Santa Claus sums to 666. Santa Claus 666. This bizarre character somehow invented and more popular than Jesus on supposedly Jesus' birthday. Santa Claus 666, the number of the beast from Revelation 13:18, the 66th book of the Bible. When you write out Jesus Christ, it sums to 151, which is the 36th prime number. When you count every number 1 through 36 and add them together, it sums to 666. And if you doubt that, use your mind, write out the math, make sure you add correctly. 1 through 36 added together sums to 666, right on the nose. Here's Revelation 13:18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Here is wisdom, 66. Number of the beast, 66. Number of the beast, here is wisdom. 66th book of the Bible is Revelation, 666. That next part, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. Boom. 223, like Masonic, like the synagogue of Satan. Remember, the first printed Bibles, called 42-line Bibles, New Testament begins with the 42 generations leading up to Jesus. New Testament in gematria equals 42. You don't think the Freemasons have had a hand on the Bible? Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. Do you think those would be the people in the Masonic secret society at certain levels that study and practice and share this knowledge? The word knowledge 42, like history. The synagogue of Satan, that's who it says will rule in Revelation. The false Jews, the synagogue of Satan. Here we are in December, Satan, Santa, December, all 55. Numerology equals 55. Remember this story earlier this year from Norway? Lucifer, 323. Lightning strike kills 323 wild reindeer in Norway. By the way, this story of Santa Claus and his reindeer goes back to many years ago, where the whole concept of Santa Claus comes from. So this story came in August of this year. I just want to point out that Satan equals 232, the reflection of this number in a way. Satan also sums to 330, like 33 for Norway. And that new Marilyn Manson video, Say 10, which came out on the same day as the election, a date with 55 numerology, showed Donald Trump beheaded with a 33 in the pool of blood next to the person that's supposed to be Trump. Say 10, the video was called, like Satan. And, I think everyone should go check out that video and think about what Marilyn Manson is saying. The chorus is, you say God, I say Satan. And, a lot of people say the real God of the Bible is Satan. It's a jealous God. It's a vengeful God. It's a petty God. Satan coming down in a lightning bolt. Satan and lightning, gematria 55. Look at this, Truth Seeker. Holiday, Lucifer, Jesus, cross, gospel, Masonic, Jewish, occult, killing, all gematria of 74. Again, out of the 50 states, only one sums to 74. One of the 50, the 33rd state, Oregon. Oregon on the cross. Oregon on the cross, I mean Jesus on the cross at 33. The 33rd state, 74 gematria. Also interesting, Oregon established on Valentine's Day in a year with on a date with 93 numerology. Saturn equals 93. God's sun 93. The sun 93 million miles away. God's sun, the winter solstice, lowest point, then rising again. God's one and only Son, Christianity 930. Oregon, again established on the 93rd day of the year. Saturn, the keeper of time, has the rings. Nike, the major company headquartered in Oregon, their symbol is a swoosh or a ring of Saturn, the swoosh. Nike equals 39. The reflection of 93, headquartered in Oregon. Phil Knight, a whole lot of 33. I hope Dave J and Russian Vids come along around like RFG Chosen One. And RFG puts his face on the screen. Dave Johnson, he has sometimes. Russian Vids has never put his face on the screen. And if any of these men want to debate me, we can have a live stream and debate our spirituality, and we can see who looks more sane. Because I'm really tired of being demonized by these people and people being persuaded by their crazy arguments. You guys, what is the motivation for me to have my house, destroyed on Christmas Eve? If you guys saw what I was up to visiting family, I don't get to see my family that much. You guys should know that. I'm usually here making videos every day. I was planning on coming back Monday night. I had to come back Saturday night instead. I just got down there. I didn't get to see my dad. You guys want to know something else? I was feeling sad this morning thinking about my dad because of how little I've got to see him in my entire adult life. On my 2 hands, I still have plenty of fingers left to talk about the amount of times I've seen my dad in my adult life. I don't see him that often. And I want to see him more because he's getting older. He's always working. My parents work hard. They're both working slaves. So anyway, this morning, I was feeling sad. I don't cry very often. I started to cry. And, right as I was crying, thinking about my dad, the phone rang and it was him. It was amazing. He'd just gotten off work. So, anyway, I got to tell him why I wasn't in town and couldn't see him. So yeah, Dave Johnson, Russian Vids. You guys, you need to do better analysis. Why not share my video about the 156? Get some real knowledge out here. Can't wait to see who else makes a video about me. You guys have this happen on your 33rd birthday? Is this your story? Working with autistic children? Then have a story mock you on your 33rd birthday? In light of having your whole life ripped off when you're 31? In light of getting threats in the mail? And you guys, again, I don't want to scare people. I want to show you. These people are bullies. They'll bully you. They'll scare you. They'll threaten you. They said my 33rd birthday is my last. Tell you what, I'm going to be here when I turn 34. So I don't want you guys to be fearful and afraid to speak out, There's safety in numbers. If a lot of you find your bravery and start speaking out, there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. So I don't mean to be a false promoter of fear. I'm just showing you. There is real consequences. I have a video called The Consequences of Being a Truth Speaker. This financial motivation thing, you guys, is just a joke. It's a joke. Look at how hard I've had to work to raise the $13,000+ to get this website built. I've had to ask a lot. And I'm glad I did because now we have this thing and it's going to eventually be successful. It's off to a slower start than I hoped. It's been sabotaged by big providers. Think about this. You guys really think I'm some shill? Where's the evidence that I'm a shill? Where? Because I don't believe the same as you? It's the problem, all these people that think this way. Zachary K. Hubbard is Joshua Greenberg. He took a bulldozer to the side of his house on Christmas Eve. Oh, God. So before this video climbs to 2 hours or whatever it's at already right now, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for coming around, RFG. I appreciate it, man. You know what? Thinking about RFG, I want to say one more thing. I think RFG is a little bit closed-minded on marijuana. I know he kind of gives it a negative rap. I think, Truth Seeker, I think I got an endorsement from God last night on marijuana. Where the vehicle went through, where it went through the wall, it just missed where my little stash is of marijuana. It could have busted up the jar and who knows what else. Gone flying out with the rest of the crap that went out. And you saw, they came up short of where the glass bong was. So the vehicle, it went between like the weed stash and the bong. And trust me, you know, a lot of people, that you get that negative stereotype out here of what marijuana is. Marijuana makes a lot of things possible. A lot of people say that I must have people working for me based on how much content I get out with the videos and blog posts. You guys, I just work hard. I've always been a hard worker. From the time I was a child, I had 4 paper routes. I lived in an area, once I got to teenage age, where they had afternoon delivery. You could become a paper delivery person at age 12. I had paper routes, all sorts of things. Pushed carts, worked at the Burger King, mowed lawns, went to school, played sports. I worked hard my whole life. You know, that's how I got ahead. That's how I saved up money. I learned the value of a dollar from a young age. I grew up poor. I used to work 4 paper routes a month, do other chores. You know, as a kid, I could make about $500 a month doing that. And I saved that money doing all those different things. I used to sell newspaper subscriptions. You know, I always saved money. I had to buy my own stuff. I bought the first computer for my family when I was about 14 years old. Had to take the bus to get it. You know? All these people just sit back and say, oh, he's, you know. I learned to work hard. I've always worked hard. And I'm a proficient worker. I can do a lot in a short period of time. I used to work in a real estate office. The company I work for, the man I work for, he had another office, and he said I did more work myself than his entire other office. There's 6 people that worked in that office. You know? So anyway, marijuana. I've always been a weed smoker. I've always been able to work hard. I've always been healthier than most people. You know, a lot of people think I look young. I don't think marijuana's that bad. But then again, you want to know where your marijuana's coming from. So, sativa will make you more productive. It'll also make people paranoid. And if you're someone who gets paranoid from weed, smoke less. And I think sometimes you guys just need to get that paranoia out of your system. And if you're high and you're paranoid, just go, okay, I'm high. I'm high. That's why I'm paranoid. Let me get my mind on something positive. Mind over matter. And if you never smoked weed before, don't smoke it with alcohol for the first time. You know? That's when people get it all messed up. You can get dizzy, puke. You never smoked weed before? Don't let somebody, put the gas mask bong on you. That's not the way to introduce yourself to weed. You know, just take a nice little hit. Make sure it hits your lungs. Don't suck in too much. Just let that little weed hit your lungs. You know, relax. Remember, if you get nervous, just breathe. Focus on your breathing. Breathe slow. It's just weed. You're going to be okay. But some people do better on indica, which usually makes people chill out, get the munchies, want to just sit back and watch a movie, eat some ice cream, whatever. I don't endorse that. That's not what you want to be doing with the weed. You know, you get into your gematria study, you get that extra endurance to type out the breakdown. That's what I need the weed for. I used to go through school and think, oh my God, this is so boring and shitty. Let me smoke some weed and make this halfway interesting. Now watch me get straight A's and work, pay for all my stuff, and carry myself. My whole life, carried myself and other people around me. All you guys who want to hate, spread all these rumors. The only reason I'm able to do this is because I saved up money, because I had to take some risks, because I'm dedicated, motivated, fed up with all the sickness in the world. All right. I said enough, Truth Seeker. Until next time.